Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Something completely different today. We're going to be delving into the world of Mike Lane's mods. Now, if you don't know Mike Lane, I've showed you some examples here of all the modifications he's done on Partworks over the years, and you've actually seen me install some of these as well. Well, he's actually got two new modifications out today, which I'm going to show you. One of them is a must for every single Partwork build-up, large-scale model builder, and that is the Test Circuit Pro. We're going to be looking at that. And also, if you've got the Delorean time machine, he's also done a remote control USB power mod. Now, for transparency, Mike Lane has sent me these, but there's no compensation for these. It's basically sent me and said, try them out, tell me what you think. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. We are going to be starting with the Test Circuit Pro today. And the reason that we're starting with this is because by the look of the instructions, what I read about this is a must for everyone who is building partwork models, build-up models, large-scale models, because this is an all-singing, all-dancing tester for pretty much every component that we actually use in that. I'm going to show you today how to use that. So this is what the box looks like. Now, there is a QR code on the box here, which you can scan and it will tell you all the instructions of how to use this. Now, there are some do's and don'ts with this board, and as I'm testing things, I am going to go through them as well. But let's get this open, because I haven't opened it as well. All the information and the manual of how to use this is on this QR code here. I'm sure if I go like that, you can scan that to see that for yourself. Now, let's open the box. I think that's everything in the box there, and see what we've got. So we've got some adapter cables in here, and also in the bag here, this is the Test Circuit Pro. So let's get this open. So first things first, when you actually handle this, you always want to be holding it along the edges like that. You don't want to be touching any of the circuitry or chips or anything like that in there. But this is what that looks like, and check this out. This is all singing, all dancing things that we can test, and we're actually going to be doing that now. But the first thing we need to do is we need to provide power to this board to activate everything here. And as you can see at the top, it's actually powered by a USB-C cable, and I have that ready to go here. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be plugging in the board, and as you can see, we get a blue light coming on. We're pretty much ready to go. So with that on, we've got different things that we can actually test on here. So over this side, we've got an LED tester. Then we've got a speaker tester, so we can plug in one of those little mini speakers, test that out. We've got a motor tester. We've got a switch tester. In the middle, we've got an AA battery tester and a AAA battery tester. And then we've got a battery box tester over here. So I think probably logically is to do the battery testers first. Now, when we test the batteries, you only want to be putting one battery in at a time. So if I want to check how the AA battery is working, I put it in this way with a button to the top, and then I press the button just here. As you can see, that's got a full charge. It's got all the way up to green. If it's in the red, it means your battery isn't up to scratch and you need to replace that. But as you can see, full power on that battery. Let's do the same with a AAA battery here. Put that in. Once again, press the button, full battery as well. Now, I don't know if I've got any worn batteries. Let's go and have a look. Okay, I've got this battery for my TV remote. Now, I never change batteries in my TV remote, so this has to be low. Let's try it out. So I'll put that in there, press the button. Oh dear. As you can see, I've only got 2 red lights. So, ingenious thing, we've got a battery tester. Excellent. Okay, while we're working on batteries, I'm going to be working on this side of this test board now, which is the battery box tester. Now, as luck would have it, check this out. I've got a battery box, and this has got a JST connector. Now, if you have a look at this control board, on the left-hand side here, we've got JST connections, which most partwork models use. On the right here, we've got 1.5mm pitch JST ZH connectors. Again, this is slightly different from those ones there, but most partwork models use those sockets there. And we do have a JST adapter for some of the other familiar sockets that you may see along your builds. And I will test out one of these adapters because I believe one of these in here is going to enable me to test the lights for the Enterprise D. So, put some batteries into the battery box. So count how many batteries you're putting in. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is basically 1.5 volts batteries each. This is going to be 6 volts that we've got coming on here. Now it's best to add up the voltage for the batteries first, because what you need to do is set this switch to what the voltage is, or the amount of batteries if they're 1.5. So I'm going to be putting it to 6. This is 6 volts, a 6 volt box that we've got here. So you can either go by the top number, which says voltage, or the bottom number, which says number of batteries. Now, this is used for normal batteries. This isn't really going to be used for rechargeable batteries because they all report a false figure for you. So make sure you're using normal batteries, not rechargeable batteries. So I'm going to plug this into the port here, and my battery box has a switch. So as soon as I turn the switch on, there you go. The lights come up and show me what it's doing. Pretty cool, huh? Now, am I going to get the same result if I was to replace it with that half-dead battery I had? Let's turn that off. I'm going to put 2 of these batteries in, which is what I had left in that remote control. I'll flick my switch here, and as you can see, look, it's gone down. It's gone down, so it's working absolutely fine. Obviously, this relates to how many batteries or voltage you've got, so you need to adapt that switch that we've got there. Perfect. So that's the battery box tester. Now on Mike Lane's mod sites, it does help you out if you're unsure what setting to set that switch for pretty much every part work model. He's listed to say where the switch needs to be, and you can see that here. Now the next one we're going to do is the motor tester, and I'm really happy to be able to test this for you because check this out. I have a motor to test, and it's a JST connection motor. So I'm going to be putting this in. You're going to love this. Watch this. Put the motor in. Plugged in. I'm going to press the button. We're going to be watching the motor go off. Ready, set. Oh no, the motor's not working. And why is that? It's because I've got a broken connection. Now that connection might be broken here. It might be broken further on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solder this together just back onto the point there. We're going to see if the motor works. Okay, as you can see, I've now soldered those points together. Now that gives me a chance to test the motor. So I'm plugging this in. Now this is only really for 3 volt to 6 volt motors. Don't try and test motors that are higher than that. But here we go. Here's the motor. I'll press the button. And there we go. It's working. How cool is that? So that's how the motor tester works. Obviously we've got the 2 ports for different connectors that we can put this into. Okay. Before we move on, I just want to recalibrate the board after using the motor tester now. So what you want to do is unplug this, wait 5 seconds, and then plug this back in. So the next thing I'm going to do is the LED tester. Now, I want to test one of the Enterprise D LEDs here. As you see, they've actually got 2 LEDs on here. Now, I've got a 4-pin connector, but as you can see, I haven't got a 4-pin connector here. But in this bag of tricks, we do have an adapter for that. And this is what that adapter looks like here. So what I can do is just plug this into there, like that. Then plug the JST end into the board. And then I want to test these. So holding them like that, I'm just going to be pressing this button here. And you see we've got polarity on here, reverse to normal. Well, LEDs can only flow in one direction. So if you press it, as you see, they come on no problems at all. So I can test each light to make sure that works. If they don't, change the polarity by clicking the switch across and then press it again. As you see, it's in one direction, so they're not working now. If I change the polarity back, they work. How cool is that? So we now have an LED tester as well. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be testing the switch here. Now this switch has 2 ports. Only test on all of this 1 port at a time. Don't try and connect 2 things up at once. But I have wired up a switch, as you can see here. So I'm going to plug this into the JST. And as you can see, the light's not on. Now to test the switch, as soon as I click it, the light turns on. Turn it off and on. So there we go. We've got a switch tester. So the last thing to test is the speaker here. And this is the speaker. I've got this speaker from the Fan Home Nissan Skyline. So I thought we'll try that out. So basically we're going to be plugging this in just to the JST here. And then I just push this button and it should, hopefully you'll be hear it, make a noise. It's playing the 18 theme. I really hope you can hear that. I'm going to play it with the microphone close. Oh, Mike, that was a nice touch, wasn't it? I'm going to put that back where it comes from, but that is pretty much the Test Circuit Pro. And as you see, I've demonstrated how every single thing works on there. And now you can probably see why I think this is invaluable for every part work builder. Pretty much check any comment on my videos and people are asking, does my LED work? Should this be working? Well, the first thing to do if you want to check the components is get one of these and you'll be able to test that for yourself. Now, this is available through Mike Lane mods at the moment. There is a promotion code as well. So follow the QR code that I've got on the screen down there. And I have got a promotion code there that you can use, which will get 10% off. So thank you, Mike, for letting me offer that to the community. But that's not the only mod that Mike has at the moment. Check this one out. And that is the USB power mod for the Back to the Future DeLorean. So once again, on the back there, you have a QR code, which talks you through all the instructions of how to install this. And this is everything you get in the box here. Now this is a really simple installation. So let me just open the remote control first. Now this remote control is not only going to be powering the vehicle on and off, but you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons there, even though we've got a 7th, which are going to operate the internal switch. You don't have to open the door to see all the things activate. Now the battery is already in here. What you need to do though is take the tab out, and that is now ready to go. Just going to put that to one side. I do like how, look, it's got a bracket here which you can mount to the wall. So once you've actually mounted it, you can get the remote and that will just sit in there like that. We've got some leads here, which is a USB-C lead. We've got a lead which is going to replace the ribbon cable, or kind of replace, I'll explain that in a second, in the DeLorean. And we've got these leads just here. Okay. The heart of this mod is in this box here. Now this is the power mod and it also replaces those switches. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do anything is on the back side here I do have a place to be able to put this sticky pad. And all I'm going to do is just take off the sticky on one side at the moment and just stick that to the back of this board. Perfect. Put that to one side. Now at the moment, if you remember, this is where I'm up to with the DeLorean. So I can still take the top off. So I'm going to do that now. And that's given me access to the battery box area. Now I'm going to want to remove this cable here, which says FR. I want to be pulling that out. Going to take some wiggling, but as you can see, I can get this out without having to take out this interior. How cool is that? I'm going to be replacing it with this cable here. Now, when we put it in, I want these tabs to be facing upwards. And as you can see, that's there, and I just push that in. Make sure that's in as tight as you can get it. So basically what we've done, I've taken out this cable here and replaced it with this one. Now if I just turn this on its side, and you can see on the top camera, this is the battery box where it plugs into the control panel. You can see the plus and minus. We don't want that anymore. We can take that out too. I'm going to be replacing that with this lead, which comes with this, looking like that. And you want to put it in with the grey towards the left there. So I'm going to use my tweezers for this, I think. And make sure again that goes in all the way. Perfect. Now if I just put this background to where it goes, you see on the top camera, I've got 2 leads now coming out of this section. We're going to be plugging them into Mike Lane's board. So the one that's coming from the power here is going to be going into this top one here. Now we need to make sure it's in the right way. So the left side should be the grey cable. As a matter of fact, it can only go in one way, because obviously the pins dictate where you put it, but that should look like that there. Now this ribbon cable that we got, keep calling these sort of cables ribbon cable, again can only go in one way, just like this. And that's in perfectly. The last thing to do is create an extension lead for the power to go into. So let me just take this off. And I want the one that's at a right angle here. This is a USB-C cable. I want it at the right angle. So that is going to be going into this side, just like this, so that the cable is covering the whole lot there. It's going off in that direction. Now I can actually secure this into place on the back of the bulkhead by taking the sticker off and sticking this into position. Again, I'm going to show you on the top camera there. Hopefully you can see that. It's just against this wall on this side here. And I've done all of this without taking the interior floor pan out. Now, depending on where you want to display this, this extension cable is either going to go through the wheel arch on the left-hand side over here, or the right-hand side. Now, I'm going to be displaying mine on the right-hand side. Got my phone camera out here. You see in the wheel arch, we have got a hole just there. That's where we're going to be passing that extension cable through. Now you can tidy all of these leads up to where you want them, but it doesn't go all the way through. It just presses in enough in there so you're going to have a port on the other side there to plug that in. So theoretically, we should be ready to test this now, because that's all there is to do. Now, I've only got limited things connected up in here at the moment, so I'm going to plug it in. And when you do plug it in, as you see, you do get a blue light to start off with. Eventually that light will go out. And then once it's plugged in, I want to press the white button on the board, which I've shown a picture because I can't really show you now what I've plugged it in. So I've pressed the button, and as you can see, it's flashing now. Just like that. That means it's now ready to receive instructions from the remote control. So I've got the remote control here. If I press the on button, it's now on. And I don't know what I can actually show you because not a lot is actually connected up at the moment. So if I press number 4 on the remote, I can demonstrate the flux capacitor coming on. Do that now. There you go. That's on. It's also turned on the Christmas tree lights here. As a matter of fact, let me just turn that down. You might be able to see that, hopefully. Again, number 4 also turns on time circuits there. But all the other features of the remote control, I actually haven't got connected yet. So all I could do is demonstrate the flux and the time circuits coming on. But you get the idea of how that works and how simple a mod this was actually to install. But that means I haven't got to open the door anymore. I can actually just operate the remote to actually see it working. And the advantage of having it always powered with a USB-C connection is that I can have it always on. How cool is that? Now, all of these products, as I said, are available through mikelane.com. I have put a link just down here, and you do have this 10% code that you can use as well. But pretty impressive, huh? I really do hope you like that. Let me know what you think in the video. Please put it in the comments, but I really do hope you did like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.